now that you said that about the order of the songs, now I can't even listen to the song. That's exactly
It was
right.
unthinkable first.
Because unthinkable is when they were like, should you, Swizz? Is this a good idea?
Yeah,
And they just both kind of like got into that, like, you know what? Fuck it, burn it all down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then
They
no
really
one
stopped
is
giving
about
a
like
fuck.
the reaction.
Yeah, no one is the aftermath. Like, damn, this was a good decision.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
even though people are hating on the fact that you left your wife for me.
You know,
because we did the unthinkable.
Never mind that. All right, that's neither here nor there.
No judgment, no judgment. I wasn't there.
I mean, look.
I wasn't there. I'm just saying the songs.
This is just strictly for entertainment purposes.
Hold on. Ooh.
We don't really.
Okay, this doesn't.
What are you doing?
Well, I was just messing with it. Because it was so low compared to that.
She's messing with the pop filter in front of the mic.
Don't be telling people what I'm doing.
So yeah. Do you feel any different? Is this a different vibe from doing it, you know, in front of the camera?
What, like audio only Poignant Bars?
Yeah. I feel like it's a little more intimate. I feel a little more.
I feel like I didn't have to put any makeup on. It's liberating.
There you go.
Actually, you know what I could use?
Yes. What's that?
Can we take a brief pause?
A brief.
I just need to grab my Burt's Bees chapstick from the room. My mouth feels.
Oh God. Now. Seamless and flawless transition. You couldn't even tell how long we was gone. We right back with the same energy.
Oh, you were recording before that?
Yeah.
Oh, see, I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah, like all the stuff.
Oh, well.
Prior to?
Well, yeah. It's on the record now.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
No walking it back.
No walking.
That's okay, because we didn't actually say anything yet.
I don't think we said
funny.
anything.
People be saying stuff full blown, like on camera, on video, in front of a microphone, and then when they get like challenged on it, they really try and walk it back. And it's like there's literally audio and video of you saying and doing those things. I find that to be hilarious because like at this point, where social media is, if you say something or you do something in this film, you better be saying it with your whole chest.
Yeah. Unless you just like joking.
No,
you know,
I don't mean in that
satire.
But you know how someone will be like just, I think, blah, blah, blah. Like, and then when someone is like, well, 2 weeks ago you said this, and you're like, well, this is, you know, it's like, it's on record, like, that you said that. So you can't just walk it back. Like,
yeah.
Because you know how people in life circumstances, they'll almost try and, like, minimize something that they've said when you like try and check them on it after the fact. Like if you don't catch them in the moment,
that was why you bringing up old
right?
Stuff.
Exactly. If I don't catch you in the moment while you're saying what you're saying,
shit.
then like a week later I bring it up, you might try and like minimize it and like deflect and defer and all that. Now it's on the record.
Yeah. With social media, that's definitely what it is.
It's increased
It's
people's
like,
accountability to stand behind the stuff that they say.
I mean, which is cool, but
a good
it's
thing
also
and a bad thing.
Yeah,
because I mean, there's times where I don't want to just be being like recorded if I'm just venting or just like having a pissy day and I'm just talking.
I don't know.
Who else? Sometimes I just want to talk hella shit. I don't mean none of it. I just be saying anything.
Epic rants.
No, I mean a rant can be so entertaining, but the thing is, it's not necessarily like what you truly believe, what you feel. Sometimes you just have to like.
You're just saying it.
You just have to say wild shit in the moment to make yourself feel better, but you don't really stand by those things. But then if someone filmed you saying it, now what?
That's it.
That's life on a reality show. I don't trust myself. I would be like arrested or something. I feel like I talk way too much shit to be on a reality show. Could you be filmed and like recorded 24/7?
I just think having the cameras there 24/7. I mean, after a while, you probably get used to it.
No, I'm sure you get used to it, but
yeah.
Would you trust yourself?
Would I trust myself?
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah, I think I could do that.
So you know how whenever we have like company or we're in the company of like our friends, we have these like crazy conversations that last hours, and we're like, man, I sure hope nobody heard a single bit of that conversation. You know, like imagine like that's still your life, but you're on a reality show. You can't.
I mean, obviously, if other people, you know, see the cameras, you know, they're gonna know, like.
No, I mean we might know because we have
nothing.
good discernment. We got a PR trainer, everybody.
Yeah.
Not everybody's got discernment, child.
Nah, some people it's just like, all right, you just don't repeat that to anybody.
Right. Like the old generation, sometimes they be saying flagrant things and you have to say, listen,
I'll be like,
I
hey,
need you
whoa,
to not
whoa,
ever,
whoa.
ever repeat that in front of me.
Where did this come from? Where did this come? You've been like this my whole life, and I'm just now finding out about it.
Like, oh, these are y'all beliefs for real, for real?
Like, so you.
Lord. Please don't ever tell anybody
wow.
that you think that. Then you gotta like calmly try and explain like all the parts where they're wrong.
Listen.
But they're not on social media, so they're not understanding your references. And you're just like, oh god.
It's just, you know, I feel like that's why you got to keep it brief with the old heads.
Oh, yeah,
when you
keep
check
it
in
very
with
brief.
them, just keep it brief because eventually, if the conversation goes on long enough, it's gonna go to that point where it's like
The problematic light gonna
Yeah.
come on.
yeah, it's gonna get to that point where they're gonna say something, and then it's like you not gonna want to argue with them and entertain it, but it's just gonna be a reflex to do it.
Right.
Even if it's just like a little soft challenge, like I don't think you're right about that. You know,
right? You know how you try and like disagree without starting an ongoing conversation,
Yeah.
but then they double down, and you're like, oh my god.
It's always gonna snowball into something bigger that you don't want to be a part of. So, don't do it.
Because I feel like we kind of have a better grasp. Well, not a bit. I don't want to say that. That's a generalization. But in any case,
A better grasp.
this generation,
Shit.
not. See, I can't even say this generation because there's so many like little sub generations. Basically,
Which
those
generation?
of us who have come of age just before and during the internet era, I feel have like a profound grasp on like the isms and the schisms and the nuances and all that.
Yeah.
And like the older generation are deep in that bag. Like,
Listen,
you know what I mean? Like
if
it'd be
you-
stuff they used to say to us that we thought was normal, and then when we learned what those things meant, we're like, oh my god, like why would you say that?
If you were in the Pizza Hut Book It Club, you're woke.
Oh man.
You're woke. If you're in that generation, that's the woke generation. The older generation,
I'm always like, something must have happened to y'all. But then I think about it, I'm like, a lot of stuff happened to them. And it explains it. That's why I don't hold them as accountable. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not excusing ignorance, but in certain circumstances, you just gotta let bygones be bygones.
They got hit
You
with-
can't reteach these old people a lot of stuff. You could try, but they're so stubborn and hard-headed.
they got hit with a lot of raw radiation back in the day. That's why they different like that. That's why they built different. That's why like older people like. That's why people 60, 70-year-olds, even 50-year-olds too. Yeah, like they got that strength. You know what I'm saying? Like that kind of like a little bit above.
Well, old person strength.
Yeah.
They did not get hit with raw radiation.
They did get hit with more raw radiation.
What type of raw radiation? What are you talking about?
Those early microwaves, those early TVs, them early toasters, the gas-powered toasters.
All right. That did not.
You gotta put oil.
This is a crazy
Your toaster
conspiracy
got an oil
theory right
filter.
now. You're gonna get us thrown off the internet.
Listen, your toaster should not have an oil filter. That's all I'm saying.
The irons. Wait, I saw something on Twitter about like the strength of like grandparents like irons. Like back in the day, like they said it could press. I'm trying to remember. It was something ridiculous.
Yeah.
They said it could like press the popcorn out the ceiling.
Yeah.
Like the irons was so strong.
That sunbeam.
That sunbeam would be hot as the rays of 1,000 suns. Like,
Excuse me. I was drinking wine and it went down the wrong pipe.
Careful.
Yeah. So yeah, this is the audiobook version of Poignant Bars. This is episode 9. See? It was 222 right there.
I feel like we're probably only at like 8 3/4.
Well, no, we gonna call this 9.
And then what about the 2 unreleased? Those are like 0.5 and 0.5. We gotta start doing decimals and fractions to add up our episodes.
We got shit like we got content like Nas, like the lost tapes. You know what I'm saying? We got a bunch of stuff
Poignant Bars
in the vault that we gonna release at a later date and time. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, the day ones, they could really appreciate it. You know what I'm saying?
So you saving things for your future audience?
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Manifest that.
You know what I'm saying? That's how we finagle it.
What he really meant to say is that it just didn't get edited yet. It might be a little out of order, chronologically speaking, but this is easier for him.
She knows me very well.
You gotta read in between the lines. Well. You gotta see things with your third eye.
She's a real straight shooter. The no nonsense kind of girl.
Your third eye is blind.
Yeah, your third eye is.
But also, what I was saying earlier, which this further goes to that point, is that you just be saying anything.
I don't just be saying anything.
Defend this right now. So.
I would never just intentionally just say anything. Yeah, I remember saying anything. Yeah. No,
I think I said it in the face.
It's very funny to just say things to catch people off guard, even if you don't mean them. You know what I'm saying? But today's world is so PC, so bubble wrapped. All these snowflakes walking around here.
All right, Malcolm. You know that they don't understand sarcasm.
It's pissing me off.
Sarcasm.
Comedians shouldn't have to apologize for jokes.
Here we go. Can you go ahead and...
It's disgusting.
All right. Thank you for coming. Thanks for coming. See, this is what happens when we have the reality show. Yeah. He goes off on a rant that's totally like for pretend and has nothing to do with anything, and then they film him and they edit it and make it seem like something really dramatic was happening.
Yeah, but
you know, like
don't nothing be happening. Don't nothing be happening. They do a dramatic build up to the commercial break, and all the editing cuts make it seem like someone's about to like fight or disagree, and then it comes back from commercial and not a daggone thing has happened. After this, Malcolm goes on anti-establishment rant. Right. Yeah. That's pretty much the format. If you want to get into that, you know, let me know in the comments below. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Make sure you hit up the Patreon. Make sure you hit up the Bandcamp. Make sure you hit up my Discord.
You don't have any of those things.
Make sure you hit me up on Reddit.
See, this is what I'm talking about. He's just making up
Make
stuff.
Sure you hit me up on Yahoo Instant Messages.
That's why we can't do nothing seriously. You just be saying anything. You don't
that's not
have
true.
a Patreon.
That's not true.
You don't have a Discord.
I have a Patreon.
I don't even know what the Yahoo Messenger. I didn't even know that was still a thing. I'm very confused.
Yahoo is still functional. That's still a functioning.
Look, when I'm taking people's email addresses, when I'm taking like clients' emails at work, sometimes I just can't help but to like die a little on the inside at like the email addresses.
When I see a Yahoo, it's just
they be taking it out.
It's disgusting.
No, but people are still really out here with AOL.
I know. And I'm
like, how are you even checking your emails? Like, what server is that on? My dad still has you know, I'm not going to say what he has because he probably doesn't want me to say it. Maybe it's some secret shit. But he has a true throwback email address that I'm just like, this is unbelievable. That
Richie got a Yahoo.
That you can even retrieve. I'm not talking about Yahoo. Yahoo is like entry level, old school. Like
you talking about some old shit.
Yeah.
You talking about like.
So don't start saying them so people can start guessing.
So people can start guessing.
Why
you say that?
He's secretive about his shit.
I mean, I don't even know what he got.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. You about to guess it. Then we all gonna know.
I don't even know that. All I know, the oldest ones that I know. Oh shit! The oldest ones that I know are Hotmail.
I have a Hotmail. It's not my primary.
I know you do.
I just won't get rid of it because that's where all the spam goes.
Befuddles me.
Because it's just a Microsoft. It's just under the Microsoft.
I hate
umbrella.
the way Microsoft be. Man,
they have so many of the email address thingies go straight to Microsoft.
They make it so hard to log into your account and shit. It's really frustrating.
Yeah, but forget one step of your Google authentication and then what happens?
I mean, but look, that's why you gotta write.
Look how long I got locked out of my fucking Instagram account.
That's why I'm always telling you. You have.
So you're gonna tell the people where you put your password? That's what's their next step.
I didn't say where to put them. I said write them down. Just write them down. Store them somewhere as soon as you make them.
If I had done that, it would have been stored in the same phone that I'm locked out of. So how is that helping me?
I mean,
I would be locked out of the phone Instagram.
No. If you store your password.
So you mean store it externally outside of your device?
In the notes on your phone. You know what I'm saying? Even if you're locked out of, you know what I'm saying, Instagram, boom, you got the notes right there.
No, but if you, in the case of that secondary account was on my other phone, if I can't log into the phone.
The locked phone, yes. The old phone.
Yes, so I'm saying you can still lock yourself out even if you notate it in the same. What if you get locked out of the whole device? What if your phone breaks and you need to log back into all your social medias, but you put all your passwords in the phone? How is that going to help?
Why are you locking your phone?
No, I'm saying what if your phone smashes? You're not even hearing what I'm saying.
I'm hearing what you're saying.
If your phone falls out of your pocket and smashes into a billion pieces, as iPhones tend to like to, right? And then you go get a new phone, but then you can't figure out how to log into any of your social medias because you saved your passwords in the old phone, in your notes. The notes isn't still going to be on your phone unless you backed it up. And I'm not responsible enough to have a smooth transition from one phone to the next.
That's the one thing. I back up my notes.
Well, that's because you care. Who? I'm not.
Because I got so many notes, and it's like.
Well, I'm glad that you're that responsible, but some of us are not. Okay. I barely remember what I ate for breakfast.
Wait, I'm trying to go back to what you had. Something you had just said because it made me think of something. Oh man, it's gone. It is absolutely gone. It's gone. It's gone.
Cool. Sure.
Talking about taking notes, getting locked out of your device. Oh no! Remember when you had you cracked your iPhone when you opened the car door and it just fell out?
You mean as soon as I bought it?
Yeah.
And that very same day, we drove home from the mall after I just paid full price in cash for a brand new iPhone. And then I opened the door to get out of the car, and it fell in the parking lot and smashed.
I was like, you can't be serious.
I literally had tears in my eyes because I just couldn't take the hurt and the pain. That was diabolical.
I felt that.
That must have been some sort of karma that I have earned up because that was truly cruel of the universe.
Oh,
to do that to me.
No, this is what I was thinking of. I was thinking of that lady that was in the phone store that day we was there, and she was trying to get into her old phone, but the password was saved. It was something similar.
You just making up a story.
No.
No,
it was something.
The story was, because I remember, she couldn't remember the PIN code to her account, and she was supposed to have an upgrade, but they couldn't get into her account because she didn't have her PIN code. That's what happened.
But it was
that
saved.
lady is me.
No, not. No, I'm not talking about.
I know you're not talking about me. I didn't mean that literally. Jesus, Malcolm.
I really like this format.
Stop clapping in my face.
No, it's for editing purposes.
I know.
Yeah. Nah, I like this. We got like one lamp on in here.
Dimly lit. Glasses of wine, poured, but not in wine glasses.
Yeah.
Candle was lit. I think the candle went out.
We got the little Pumbaa statue on the table.
Got our little doggy statue. We're in our pajamas.
Invisible table.
So that's pretty lit.
Yeah.
In our pajamas.
Yeah, so it's pretty lit over here, guys.
Nothing, Just Friday night in my living room, on my couch, and some jammies.
We're just the toast of the town.
We're just living it up over here, Got our Pinot Noir.
Yeah, getting crazy.
Spice it up, crack the window, got some fresh air. Woo!
Getting nutty tonight.
That fresh air really knocked me out. Actually,
oh my goodness.
You didn't crack the window, babe. That was a serious inquiry earlier.
I cracked it. I remember.
It doesn't look cracked.
I remember you telling me to close it.
That was hours ago. I'm talking about within this.
Remember the
this
auxiliary request.
From the one with the good memory, you sure are not remembering a lot of things.
I don't claim to have a good memory. I mean,
you have a way better memory. I thought.
I
thought. I thought I did something good. Lozelle.
Now we gonna get the sounds of the city.
No, it's not even loud out there right now. I say that.
I'm surprised.
Let one Citizen app notification go off, and it's gonna sound lit up outside. The Citizen app makes the scariest, most threatening sounds to make sure you check and see what's happening.
Yeah, it'd be all types of
it's
sounds.
It's like dun dun dun. Like what the hell? Like why is my phone even capable of making sounds like
right
this?
Before they do,
who programmed the droid to make scary robot monster sounds? Is that just built in? When they become sentient, they're already gonna be able to fucking chase us around and threaten us.
Yeah. It's coming. It's all happening
I'm
now.
gonna do the same thing that I try and do because I'm not convinced, but I'm of the belief that if at any point if Earth activated the animals and the plants and told them to just fuck us up, that we would really be toast, and that they're all sentient and they could have a collective consciousness and they could turn against us. So I always whenever I see wild stuff happening to nature in nature, I'm always Earth, hear me out. I had nothing to do with this. When y'all decide to thrust us off of this, please keep my name out of this situation, okay? Look, I would never have purposely made it.
Box with a silver bag, all right? I will.
This is where you used to say. But no, I was good. I said all that. I said all of that to just say that sometimes I do that with the phones too, with technology, because if these robots do decide to turn up on us, I just want to let them know that I'm cool if we just coexist. If y'all just let me mind my business, you could just drop me off on a beach somewhere. As long as I have access to wood and clean water, I'm sure that I could make it, and y'all could just do what y'all got to do on the other side of the planet.
Just wood and clean water. That's all you need.
I don't know. If I could build a fire, if there's a fruit tree around, I'm sure I'll be fine. But just leave me out of the Terminator style situations. I forgive you in advance. I know you're probably very altruistic and humans ain't shit. So I get it. I truly get it. But not all of us are dirtbags. I mean, a lot of us have dirtbag tendencies, but we didn't know any better. We just was raised wrong.
I don't know how long I'm going to make it in a situation like that. I'm going to be real.
No, I'm not saying I'm going to make it. I'm just asking them in advance to spare me.
I don't know how long I want to participate.
I'm I could help y'all with something. Y'all could hand me a broom. I'll sweep up. I don't know. Whatever it is.
I might just have to work for the robots, for real.
That's what I'm saying.
The algorithm might have to be my new employer. But
imagine working for the algorithm.
Nah, I'm saying I might not be around. Look, I might just have to let the robots take me out, man. Because listen,
if they so choose. But what if they're mad cool? What if you have a real ass conversation with them and they're look.
I mean, I can see
we get
happening.
That this isn't ideal, but y'all are fucking everything up for everybody. I was like, you know what? You're right. Mm-hmm. But hear me out.
hear me out. What if?
Just this one time.
Just this one time. Just once.
No, but I mean, you got to think about. There's a lot of possible scenarios, potentialities. You know.
Mm-hmm.
I just try and make sure I'm in good communication with all the things.
Mm-hmm.
Try and let them know that I come in peace. You know, E.T.
I mean, listen. At the end of the day, you only got two things. Your word and your balls.
All right, the dramatic pauses.
And you
help me.
Better not break them for nobody. Alright? Damn. If aliens... No, I wouldn't want to live in that.
So what do we get in first? The aliens, the robots, or just the animals?
Or the 28 days later.
That's straight Earth. That's just straight nature.
The zombies.
Oh, no, we're not going to talk about that.
we
talking about manifesting. Don't be saying crazy shit that we don't want to see ever.
Oh, I thought that's what we was talking about.
No, but that's not a potential.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Sorry. Let's get back to
So let's get back on track. Let's get back on track.
We don't ever want to give energy to things that April cannot.
No.
I cannot even.
It's
no.
But it's not a giving of energy to it. It's
not. Meanwhile, he went and put this like. How do I explain this? See, now I'm gonna sound crazy trying to explain this.
Nah, go ahead.
Malcolm put like a graphic on the TV in the background, but it's like all like spacey and not graphic, like a I don't know what to call. What do you call this?
It's NASA footage.
Okay, it's NASA footage. That's real?
Yeah.
Really? Wow.
Cosmic relaxation. 8 hours of 4K deep space.
But how do you know
NASA
it's real
footage.
and that's just not computer generated?
I mean, listen.
Is this actually NASA's page?
Know. I don't know.
No. So then why you tell me it's real if you didn't even know? You just said that with your whole chest.
No, but this is exactly if you went
if
to
I
NASA,
could see it for real, this is what it would really look like.
Yes.
I watched a SpaceX launch. Was that live last night or the night before?
That was last night.
Last night? It was really, really cool. Hearing them say like what all the engines were doing, like having to turn them off at certain intervals, and then have to like get throttled into a different orbit, and then cut like 4 engines on, and then you gotta like break a piece off. Like that's so crazy. Like the process. All it convinced me is that I'm not ever getting on one of them things. I was like, no,
and broken
that's
off.
a lot. I throttled and broke you off. I throttled and broke you off.
Yeah. I throttled and broke you off. That's the name of this episode. I throttled and broke you off. Episode 9.
Oh my
Here
God,
we go.
I just spit wine out. I'm glad.
Yeah. Nah.
Oh my
I throttled and broke you off. That's definitely 90s R&B.
Yeah.
Something with Black Thought rapping over it.
It just sounds so like extra vulgar, like
throttled.
Like
Throttled sounds rough.
Throttle is a rough word.
Throttled sounds like a long night. Like y'all getting throttled.
I'm like, chill out.
Throttled, like damn. Do you know what that entails?
This
Throttling
is cool
is
footage.
Huh? Yeah, no.
But it's not real.
This is real.
It's not real.
This is just as real as the moon landing. Okay.
I wasn't there, so I won't speak on that.
You think we landed on the moon?
I don't know. I think we're capable. I think our technology is there.
Shit.
Look at all the technology they have that we don't even know about. Insane. I bet you there's insane levels of technology that.
She said, "I bet you."
I just stumbled on my words, but you know what I'm trying to say.
How come we ain't been back?
Back where?
To the moon.
I mean, have they tried to go back?
No, niggas ain't never tried to go back.
Why?
They just keep sending.
But why wouldn't they be able to go there? They have a whole space station, and people like land on it and leave all the time.
They just keep.
How much further is the moon than the space station? It can't be that much further.
Oh, the ISS.
Hold on, let's Google.
Niggas just keep.
Not that I would know what any of these
go-karts
distances really
to
mean.
Mars.
Like.
Yeah, why does it look like Warren?
That does not look like Warren.
Like if he got crazy tattoos.
I still wouldn't think it looked like him. That's not the vibe that I got.
Maybe I'm off.
Oh, that's God. Scary. What was that?
Hell was that?
Right. Leave this page.
Yeah, you can't be just scrolling through YouTube sometimes. They'll take you down the road if you're not careful.
YouTube has some wild stuff happening.
No, I'm trying to look at NASA's
Hold on, what's
actual.
the thing that you told me to do?
Yeah.
I have to go to the potty.
Wait. No, I'm leaving that in. And just like that, we are back, and it felt like no time passed because that's the beauty of editing and technology. And
is this even the same day?
Yeah.
Is this even the same week?
Yeah.
Are y'all in the Twilight Zone? Is this an episode of Black Mirror?
Sure.
Or is it just the ease of editing?
That's a very good question. That's a very good
question. It may be all of the above. Right now, for 2021, it's feeling like all of the above.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Our year started out a little... I'm making a face, but, this is just about...
For all of our listeners out there.
I didn't really have any words
She's
to
making
describe
a face.
How this year started out.
Yeah.
Actually, to me, it started out good. We were okay there. They had me there in the first 5 days. Had me there in the first 5 days.
Yeah.
But you know what? I feel like we all feel a positive shift. I think this was definitely a bit of a quell moment on our positivity.
A quell.
I think that collectively...
Shout out to Quell, man.
It's hard to say collectively if we could all just focus on what we're trying to create and what we're trying to see instead of feeding energy to all the stuff that is trying to ruin, that we will have a lot of power. But there is also the fact that it is many millions of people on that side. But yet and still, you can't be worried about where other people are at.
Yeah. There's millions of people on this on
probably many more millions.
Many sides.
Many more millions on all the sides. I mean, I don't feel like I'm on a side. Well, I know what side I'm not on. Hold on.
So what you saying?
No, I'm not one of them.
What you saying,
no, I'm not
sister?
one of them. No, we don't deal with any of the people.
You was mad that you couldn't go to DC the other day?
Okay. In any case, I'm just saying that I think it's more healthy for us collectively. I mean, granted, we got to deal with what we got to deal with. We got to get this situation cleared up. This is not a good look, But without getting into it, because we're not even going to talk about that, without even getting into it, I think that it is super helpful for all of the teachers, all of the creators, all of the artists, all of the musicians, all of the writers, all of the dancers, all of the...
Let them know.
Pottery makers and the scientists and the and whatever your thing is, the hustlers, whatever your thing is.
Yeah.
Street dudes.
Come on.
All right. Not with the DMX. But whatever your thing is, I think that if you just focus on being better at that, trying to get more into your bag, just trying to do something a little differently the next day, try to elevate yourself a little bit, try and learn something new, try and practice a new skill.
A little daily review.
Try and practice a new skill, try and recite a new mantra, try and take one extra deep breath. I feel like if everybody just tries to do something towards what their ideal vision of the world is, that we're going to see an entire shift happen. But it's going to be the collective of a lot of small individual actions. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? If we're trying to have a new Renaissance era, I think that's how you do it. I mean, that's not saying that there's not an alternative force, because I'm not one of those love and wine. No, there's definitely some dark shit out there happening. We can't just ignore that stuff. We can't be ostriches and just stick our heads in the sand. But still, you know what I'm saying?
I'm an ostrich.
You know what I'm saying?
I be wanting to be an ostrich.
Sometimes I want to too. There is some bliss to be found in ignorance for sure, but it's not worth the price that you pay.
Why did I come on Twitter?
No, I'd be like, damn, why did I?
Why did I
people? Why did I witness? Why did I? Any of it. Yeah, that's why I froze up. Why did I? All of it.
That was a nice little pause you put in there.
Because it'd be crazy. Everybody's tired. This shit is crazy. You can't do nothing or open a single app or walk down a single street or talk to a single person without there being another
I'll be like,
fucking
damn.
thing. Like, oh my gosh, like we can't just have a normal day without a crisis.
Man,
we're already in a plague. Stop all the other crises. Can we just have one crisis at a time? Slow them down,
just one,
or prepare us for the next crisis before.
Can we at least get a 2 week
crisis
advance notice, a 2 week notice,
so that our hearts can catch up? Because I feel like everybody is moving in fight or flight mode right now, and it's causing just a lot of tension among everything and everybody, because too much stuff is just happening all back to back to back, and everybody's just like on hyper vigilance. Even like they don't feel like they are, it's like in their subconscious it's happening.
Yeah.
And that releases actually different chemicals in your body, like that make you tense and make you react certain ways and can contribute to bad moods and soreness and all of that. Like your biochemistry is actually affected by this shit that you're consuming. You don't even realize that.
Oh yeah,
for sure. Just like the coffee you drink and the the sugar that you eat and all of those things, like those little different fluctuations in chemicals in your body are affecting your sleep, which is affecting your mood, your temperament, your decision-making skills, your critical thinking, your creativity, your sex drive. Everything's all linked, right? And then also the stuff that you're consuming with your eyes. So it's like the stuff you're consuming with your body is affecting you, but the stuff that you're consuming with your eyes and your ears is also affecting you physically, chemically, not just like people are like, oh yeah, that can make you sad. Like, no, bitch, like this is affecting your serotonin, like, all
types of shit.
And then we running around wondering why we feel, the way that we feel. Because a lot of people feel sick, tired, stressed out, anxious.
Sick and tired of being sick.
Just all different things. Angry, all different things. And a lot of it is these chemicals in our body. We just think that it's just in our head.
Yeah.
But our head is just basically like a like it's like your body's a computer, and it's like sending like a typed out word, and then your brain is telling it to you.
Yep.
If that makes any sense.
And we don't even know what Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, radio waves, we don't even really know what that's doing to our body.
That's a whole other thing.
That's a whole 5G.
All right.
Yeah.
See, no.
Yeah.
You're about to get us taken right down off the internet. All right.
As soon as they heard 5, it's like,
no.
All right, they ain't monetizing shit.
Never. This what happened to the last episode too. This is why we can't put up none of our episodes.
We trying.
No, this one's not that bad. This
ain't that bad.
No, it's not that bad. It's not that bad.
Yeah.
So we have this thing where sometimes we go into a subject area that we know for sure is gonna get us taken out. I'm not even gonna use the words. S then B. I'm not going to use those words because I realize if you say it in a video, you're increasing the likelihood of that happening.
Nah, well, I don't think that applies to YouTube though.
I don't fuck with these algorithms. Yeah. You talking about? Remember you was talking about having to work for the algorithm?
Yeah. No, that's true. That's true. Listen, they got robots that's out here breakdancing and pop locking and shit.
Listen,
so it's very possible.
That company that shall remain nameless, but you know who you are. Stop. But we're not going to get into this conversation either, because we was on a nice road, and now you're taking me down the dark road, which is where we were before the break, which was about Terminators fucking us
circle.
up. No.
That's just life. Everything comes full circle.
It goes around and it comes back around. I'm trying to preach a message of positivity to the people.
Yes, you got to escape.
But along those lines, we could talk about things we've been learning about, since we're talking about learning about biochemistry and stuff.
Well, how long we want this episode to be?
I don't know. How long have we been talking?
That was not
I'm sure there was a ton of the first half, though, that wasn't actually viable conversation, because we were just kind of bullshitting for like at least 15 minutes.
I don't know. I mean, let's keep going, because niggas is hitting the spot. So please.
That's what she said. That's what she said.
Niggas is hitting the
Wait,
spot.
what's the other one?
What's it? It's from The Office?
No, Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Oh.
Help me. Help me.
Damn.
You know what I'm talking about.
Title of your sex tape.
Title of your sex tape.
Yeah, no, the title of your sex tape shit was funny.
I need to go back and rewatch Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Oh, man.
Thoroughly enjoyed that show. Truly did. Truly. I was skeptical, and then once I got into it, I was like, wow, I truly enjoy this show.
Even though they do have a raccoon as a cast member, you know, it's still a good show. It's still you don't know the raccoon?
Oh, you mean the actual raccoon? Are you talking about Parks and Rec?
I'm talking about Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
You're not talking about the gopher from Parks and Rec?
Think about the cast of Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
See, you're asking me to use my memory.
The raccoon. His name rhymes with very bruised.
All right, the raccoon reference was true to my head. I'm thinking too literally because of these shows, so I'm like, I really
it is a
missed
ridiculous show, so I can see that.
Okay, no.
How do people think the Earth is flat?
Because they lack critical thinking.
How can you?
They lack critical thinking skills. It's really, and it'd be so disappointing because there's some people who are such good artists who are so smart, who I truly admire, and it's like, bro, there are people in a space station floating around this thing with video. They're there. Like, you can get if you don't believe that satellites are floating, all you need is a really good telescope and you can just literally look at them. That's why when people deny things that are like so provable, I'm like, bro, like telescopes exist, bro. Telescopes exist.
This is not counting the people who be trolling. Not counting the trolls.
Not counting the trolls, you know, but just, oh my gosh.
But the people
and
who like
I love
legit
a good conspiracy theory.
Shit.
I love a good questioning of the reality and the status quo. Give me all the good conspiracies, honey.
No, that's
and
true.
I will deep dive with you. But this is a dumb one. The Earth is
Earth
clearly
is
not flat.
Where's the edge? Why has nobody located the edge? Like,
we've been flying. There's time zones. Like people act like they never been on an international flight.
Even if the world was flat, you know what I'm saying? I still think you would still have some kind of time zone.
But explain it to me.
Okay.
So is it flat and it's just like twisting and rotating around the sphere that is the sun, just like all the other orbs, and it's the only one that's not an orb? What is it? A disc? Explain to me. That's what I want.
Is it a disc?
Is it just like...
Yeah, the world is shaped like a PlayStation
disc. Is it just a mountain?
The world is a PlayStation 1 disc. And it's scratched up right now. That's why everything is going so nuts.
Just like with the plague, okay?
Well,
like with the plague. I come back to this. I'm not saying I know why it's here or who put it here or what purpose it's for. That could be argued for days, weeks, and months. And I'm sure a lot of theories are probably correct about that. What I'm saying is denying that it's an actual virus. Because you can literally put a virus on a slide and put it under a microscope and view it.
Well,
physically.
How do you know that's real? You know what I'm saying? Just like the outer space footage we was watching.
Because you would be directly in front. What do you mean? Like, you could do it yourself. That's the whole point of the scientific method that people are forgetting. If you don't believe what a scientist is saying, you know you could actually follow the method and figure it out your own self. But you know why you won't do that? Because you don't have the skills or knowledge that the scientists have that are telling you. And then it's like, why would every single doctor and scientist in all these different countries with all these different political rivalries and like disagreements and beefs and like language barriers and like philosophical and religious differences, all of them are conspiring to lie and say that this virus exists.
All on one accord.
They all have the same microchip, and someone hit a button, and every single last one of them. It's like, bruh, just because we could argue about the intention of it, but it's like you can't argue with the fact you can look at the flu under a microscope. You can look at polio.
Okay,
they're
That's what they say. Okay, but I will tell you, no, I haven't looked at it under a microscope. I haven't checked the scientific method because Facebook has already informed me.
Exactly, and that's where that's when the truth starts to come out.
What this thing is, how to beat it. Who
convinced you that every single scientist is wrong is what I want to know. And why did you believe them instead of people who've been writing research papers for decades of their lives?
Nigga, this information is not going to be in the
I have witnessed people on Twitter literally arguing back and forth. We could even leave out of the virus thing, but for the last part of that, like with literal epidemiologists, virologists, right? Like literally arguing with them in the comments as if like the YouTube video that they watched from a conspiracy theorist held more value than this person's entire life of research and education. And I'm not saying like every scientist or every person in their field knows everything. That's not what I'm saying. It's just like people have gotten so jaded with their access, I think, to experts that for some reason they think that they just know more and are smarter than... It's just like the people right now on Twitter who are arguing with all the lawyers about the Constitution and about like why are you arguing about the law with a Supreme Court like lawyer like that?
Watching 6 seasons of Divorce Court don't count as
like,
knowing the law.
And I'm not saying you can't be self-educated and know more than an expert. That I'm not talking about that person with like an actual like intelligent like. Or I'm just talking about the general. The GP. The general. The gem pop.
Talking about gem pop.
I'm talking about gem pop. Yeah. Well, because also yoga teaches of like a kind of a threefold method that you're supposed to use to determine whether something is like truth or false. And it's almost kind of like a scientific method, but like the esoteric version of that. But it's super valid. Like basically, in order to really, really discern to yourself, like once you become clear enough to even make these discernments, because if you're in a cloudy mind, then none of this really matters. But for one, direct experience. So if you truly don't believe any of the other things, if you go out and like dip your toe in it yourself, then that's one way of verifying that something is true or false. Like if
you don't think it's real till you go through it.
Say Malcolm. So the second thing is an expert. Like someone who is like a master in that field, right? So say Malcolm is like a master like winemaker, right? And Malcolm says this wine is super bitter. That is one point of reference that is like 1/3 of you knowing for sure if something's the truth. But say I don't believe Malcolm. Expert. Maybe I'm a skeptic and I'm like, he could be completely wrong, right? So I sip it. That's the direct experience, right? So now not only has the expert told me that it's bitter, but I sipped it and I tasted it and realized with my own palate that it's bitter. But even then, maybe you still have room for question, which you should. Like maybe, your palate is off, skeptical. Or he had a stuffy note, whatever the case. The third reference would be something like a text that's like decided by like en masse to be the truth, like. You could say like an ancient text, like if you're talking about religion, you could say like the Bible or the Quran or like Bhagavad Gita. But if you're talking about like science, you would talk about like a published, journal or like an encyclopedia. If you're talking about words, like a dictionary, at the thesaurus. Like if something along those lines also verifies the other two like factors of experience, then you're pretty 100% clear that what you're discerning to be the truth is the truth and not false, right? If you just applied that simple method to different little things that you're questioning throughout life, well, if a lot of people could, I think we'd be in a much better place as society. Because people just accept things with no form of verification. They just see it on the news and then they just decide, oh, it must be so. It's like the experiment with I don't remember what the experiments were called. Remember the person in the lab coat kept telling them to shock the people? And even though they could see physically the person was in pain, they kept just blindly following like the authority of the person in the lab coat.
Was that in a movie?
No. That's a real thing that happened.
That sounds terrible.
No, but it wasn't real. So it was basically an experiment on like human behavior in relation to like following authority. So you could even apply this to like people who followed like authoritarians and stuff. So usually these things happen like in college campuses or whatever, but this is a really famous one where some of the students or participants signed up, right? And basically everybody in the facility is an actor. So the person getting zapped is an actor too. They're not really. So you're not really torturing anybody.
You're right.
And then there's a person like in the lab coat who's like the authority figure, and they're basically explaining to you like this experiment is testing like something, whatever. That person is also part of the study, like so you're gonna give them different levels, like on my order. You're working basically as their assistant, and the other person is like supposed to be the lab rat, right?
Right.
And they tell you like push the first button, and you can see like it shocks them, like, and they like, oh man, like they react to it like mildly, whatever. And then each time they tell you to do it, the person is in like more and more excruciating pain.
Oh my god.
And like hardly any of the people participating questioned the person in the lab coat that they had just met that very day, even though they thought they were putting these people through excruciating torture.
Why?
Like
they assumed that
because they assumed
like
that
the
exactly, even though they could see visibly that what they were doing didn't seem right ethically, they just kept doing it because the person in the lab coat was telling them to do it.
Look.
And it's interesting because it just shows you how easy it is for people to
They was focused on the bag. That's all I hear.
They wanted that $15.
They
probably went far in 1972.
They want that $15.
I want my $2.
And
anybody that knows the reference,
year?
what reference that movie is from, is a real one. If you know, you know.
$2.
I want my $2.
Yeah, he was going hard. He was going hard.
We gotta watch that.
That's how hard we going for the stimulus.
Yeah, where the stimmy at?
Like, listen, I'm not faking the funk. All right, I ain't out here faking for these Peckerwoods. All right,
I ain't out here faking for these Peckerwoods.
Name me one person who couldn't do something with that stimulus.
At the end of the day, it's taxpayer money that we've been paying for overpaying for
money
a long time.
I need it now.
I feel absolutely no guilt to accept money from them,
Listen,
even though they don't even be giving me it in the proper doses. Anyways,
I won. Give me my money.
Give me my money. No.
I mean, I lost.
I mean, a lot of people need it, and I hope a lot of people get it for some relief. It's kind of a dark time right now for a lot of people.
Kind of.
Everybody's, well, all right. I'm just trying to not take this to a dark place.
I'm just...
People are out here needing help, man. Yeah. People are out here needing help. We all could do more, too.
It's real.
Let me hold us all accountable. We all could do more, and a lot of people need a lot of help.
Yeah.
And I was thinking earlier about that good old Lauryn Hill quote, how the road to hell is paved with good intentions. I was thinking about that a lot.
She ain't have to say that.
It's true, though. It's true. Because think about, all right, so we was talking about, like, the thing earlier, like, having a conversation with Earth, trying to convince her not to kill me, how I'm good, I'm the good one.
Deep again.
And the conversation with the computers, and then the conversation, what was the other one? The conversation with God on Judgment Day, whoever it is. Like, imagine you really pleading for your life with Earth, and she just keep bringing up, like, you know, you didn't recycle this, like, remember, you know, like, you walk past that, and she will have a million examples for you, and you'll be like, man, I really thought I was trying. I really thought I was a good person. It's like, maybe your intentions are to help with climate change, but you just get so overwhelmed with the profundity of the task that you don't actually do any of the things.
Yeah. But recycling is recycling is systemically racist.
That's true. Actually, that is actually literally true. But no, I was just thinking about
they don't even give
how
niggas a recycling.
We all think that we're pretty much on the good road, but a lot of us like aren't really doing much to help the collective.
What
all
road
do
am
more.
I on? Like,
I mean, we're all on a different road heading
like,
the same
where
direction.
am I in the rankings?
Like to think.
Where
it's no ranking because it's just you.
Yeah.
There's no comparison.
Like, am I gonna go to hell, or am I gonna go to heaven?
I really don't like the
I gotta make it to heaven from going through hell.
All right. We're not even going to get into that because you talking about getting into theology now. Now you talking about taking it real deep down the rabbit hole.
Listen,
there's so many rabbit holes.
Heaven and hell, man. It's an allegory.
I put that oil on my face, and that's the reason I'm hot. I realized. So I'm like, why do I feel hot? And I'm looking around like, it's these pants. Like,
the lemongrass stuff.
No, I don't put that on my face.
Oh, I was about to say.
We don't put essential oils on our face unless it's a spot treatment for a bump. It's something, a little bit of tea tree. That's it.
You heard that?
We don't do that.
Fellas.
Essential oils will sensitize your skin over time, even if your skin's not reacting right now.
Fellas.
Give it a minute.
Yeah.
Give it a minute.
You know, I never really valued taking care of my face all like that, you know, before I met you. I can admit that publicly.
A lot of people don't and didn't. I didn't used to.
I used to be washing my face hard as fuck. Like, just ripping the skin.
Now we do upward strokes. We're not trying to help gravity take your face down.
The 2 fingertips.
Oh my god.
Small circles.
Small circles.
You just see
do you do the 60-second method like a LA beautyologist? I
do not do 60 seconds. I just do like
60 seconds.
I probably do about a strong 30.
That's a good starting point.
A strong 30.
That's a good starting point. Do you double cleanse?
No. That's just like been there, done that.
When did you ever double cleanse? Do you even know what double cleansing is?
Yeah, when you wash your face twice.
Like the same way, you mean?
What? Yeah.
No, see, now I know you don't know what I'm talking about. Double cleansing is when you use some sort of emollient, like face wash or oil or something like that first, and then you go back in and do like a secondary like facial wash. Like if you use, a lot of work. Not really.
That's a lot of work.
Not really. It's called protecting your moisture barrier. Okay. You want to emulsify what's on your face.
Moisture barrier sounds like a Pokemon attack.
Y'all all say that, but that's why so many men be looking dusty after they turn like 40.
Yes,
they don't never do anything to take care of their own self.
Moisture barrier.
They'll say all type of high maintenance, all type of nonsense to women, but at least we are like maintaining ourselves.
Yeah,
like y'all just like use water and freaking Old Spice and hope that everything's not gonna fall apart in 20 years.
No, just look. If it's cool, just ride it out.
Then want your women to stay with you.
Ride it out till it ain't cool.
Nah.
Let's run it into the ground. Let's run this skin into the ground. We gotta
get this double standard out of here, child. Y'all better start doing something.
Yeah.
I'm happy to see more men adopting like pedicures, things like that.
I feel like men are
just
definitely
simple basic skincare.
Even the stupid ass like manly, quote unquote manly health, self-care shit like
if it gets them to take care of
themselves,
it's worth it. As long as it's not loaded up with like Axe fragrance, like.
Yeah, I used to go so hard.
Gendering skincare products is stupid.
I used to go so hard with the Axe in middle school.
Oh gosh, I'm judging.
Like
middle school. Okay.
Yeah, middle school. No, not not as an adult. No, that died down. But niggas used to have multiple cans just fucking up the ozone. Just like damn, who is spraying this?
Just aerosol.
But I wouldn't go like I do just one across the body, or like and then I'd be cool. But some people would go like empty the whole can.
Well, a lot of boys that age are musty, so at least she was trying something.
Yeah,
but usually it just smells like Axe sprayed over must.
Yeah, that's.
Ugh. Oh gosh, disgusting.
Like I could smell you try, but it was a horrible attempt.
It was a horrible attempt.
That was like
just covering up funk with another smell.
You should have.
Or like when someone goes to the bathroom and then they just like spray like Febreze over it, and then it just smells like Febreze and poop. Like it's like you did nothing but make this a worse smell.
Fecal matter.
No. Too much. This is not a pleasant sensorial experience for me.
Listen, the word fecal, like
no, that makes me cringe. That really, truly makes me cringe.
And then you attach matter,
and then you're thinking of particles. I'm like matter, particles in my nose. Oh my god, your poop went into my face. No, I can't take that. That's too much. It's too much.
As someone who used to work as a janitor, all
right.
That's like. You just block it out, because you like, I'm trying to get to the bag.
Disgusting.
So, I would just wear the protective gear.
I would just have to like panhandle or something.
I would just have to panhandle.
I'm just kidding. Do what you gotta do.
Hey, listen.
Ain't no shame, baby. Do your thing. Just make sure you ahead of the game. It's hard not to rap the rest of it.
Yeah.
If Missy got one thing, it's whole entire memorable verses from top to the bottom, frontwards and backwards.
Yeah.
And backwards.
Yeah. 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 She did reverse it.
That's fucking innovation right there. She really flipped it.
First.
Flipped it and reversed it.
Yeah. So, what you think? You think this is... I need to see the time on this.
I keep asking you what's the time.
I don't know.
Oh.
We've just been in this bitch freestyling. This has been like Rap City to Basement.
It's much easier.
I love this.
Via audio.
I love it.
Than like staging like a whole fucking video.
Hey, look.
This is called Poignant Bars, the pod.
The Poignant Pod.
No.
Poignant Pod, the bars.
No. Poignant Bars, the pod.
Poignant Bars, the pod. So like Poignant Bars, space the pod?
Yes.
Okay. Alright.
So there's Poignant Bars, which is like the audio visual, and then Poignant Bars, the pod, is for the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like how Adrian Expression, shout out Adrian Expression, love him, if you somehow edit this in there. But
yes,
kind of like how Adrian has his YouTube show, and then he has his podcast.
Yeah.
I mean, I know he doesn't call it like the same thing I just said, but I'm
just it's different.
I want it to be a subset of the same. You know what I'm saying?
Like a spin-off.
Like a spin-off.
I never feel. Yeah, and this is like just the ease of it. We just upload this.
Duh, why do you think so many people got podcasts? All they gotta do is set up a mic in their little dusty ass room in a corner somewhere and give their terrible opinions to the world.
Right. Just like the rest of us. But I do enjoy, like setting up shit and stuff like that.
No, that's fun too.
It's just fun when it goes right.
It's, for one, it's so laborious on like the editing and like just getting it out there end that it ends up taking so much time that we space them out so far away.
We're taking y'all behind the scenes.
Yeah, because this is cloth talk right here.
Ooh.
Because you make me sick. Because like think about setting up. Well, for one, you have to have the energy to do it.
Oh.
Then you have to actually like get yourself together, like to be seen, and then you got to set up a scene, and then you got to make sure the video's good and keep checking it. And it takes a huge amount of memory, a huge amount of space, and then to actually break it down and edit it on the back end is so time consuming also.
That's a lot.
That by the time you get around to doing all of that, sometimes you're like over and done with what you've already done.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the case for everybody, but for people who are doing other things, like other jobs, and like it can be a lot. Like So this is just way more accessible from even just like a time and energy perspective. Like just sit down, like flip your mic on, and just like talk. That's what we would be doing anyways.
Now I'm more about like before.
Same ass combos.
Yeah, but pretty
Same
much.
Little haircut.
Yeah, and it's easier. We can really go for longer. My tongue went to sleep for like a half a second. We can really go for longer on the audio. You know what I'm saying? Because we just don't have that like memory card restrictions and shit like that, like.
Well, that's why podcasts be like 3 hours.
It's more,
That's why people be giving them so much time.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, obviously, once you get to a certain level of production or like that's your like main thing, like that's your only priority. Obviously, you could do both things and keep it that length and have no issues. Like, but who has 1,000 terabytes just laying around all the time?
Yeah, man, listen, like before when I first started out doing, learning the creative arts at YouTube University, when I started like teaching myself how to do Photoshop and like graphic design and shit like that, videography, I would get so wrapped up in that one single thing and like want to become the best at it, like for a set amount of time, and then I move on to like another thing. Now I'm all about like combining what I learned from those things and like doing shit in like the most fluid way possible so that I could get more shit out, because we gotta flood the market with just a ton of shit, and that's how
that's how people end up getting picked up, is because they just do it so much and so
always in people's faces.
Consistency is like, I think, the number one key with a lot of things that people don't realize. I mean, with learning a trade, with practicing a fucking dance routine, like pretty much anything. If you try that shit 1,000 times, eventually you're gonna figure it out.
It's so simple that people just don't.
And math is on your side, even in sales. I'm about to give y'all a little trade secret.
Oh, pay attention.
Trade secret, but okay.
Leave a comment below.
Say you sell handbags, but there's also watches there, right? $5,000 watch, maybe a long shot. Not every client that comes to a store that's predominantly handbags is looking to buy a watch, right? Mm-hmm. But the math shows you. Mm-hmm. The more times on paper that you take out that watch and just present it to people, even people who didn't ask for it, the more times you do that, it raises your likelihood of actually like selling the watch. Mm-hmm. Whether you know the person, whether they intended to buy, whatever, all that has nothing to do with the math. But the math shows the more times that you take it out and present it and recommend it to the person, the higher your likelihood is of selling it. Because even if only one person out of 20 people buy it, you still sold one more than you would have ever sold if you didn't take it out 20 times. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then that math just keeps mathing as you go. And I think that method, that applies to everything.
Yeah.
You might put out the most fire footage or video of you doing something cool or talk. You might put out the most fire content ever, but you only do it like 2-3 times. One time this year, one time next month.
It's not enough.
Like, it's not saying that it can't go anywhere or do anything, but think about the law of averages and just that same math that works in the sales context with the watch. Mm-hmm. If you do it over and over and over consistently, mm-hmm. you continue to raise the odds in your favor that one of them is going to be successful. And you know that it only takes really one to be successful for you to like kind of ride on that momentum and like get into other things. But that's from a social media perspective, but I think it works that way in like pretty much everything. Like, it's just like with learning yoga. People always like, how did you get so flexible? I didn't start out flexible. You got to stretch every day for like a lot of days straight, and then all of a sudden you flexible, But if you don't do it consistently, then you never get to that level of flexibility. You just think you're not capable of it. And I think that's kind of the method, what you were saying, of like really maximizing like your skills to make it fluid so that you could do more things more frequently, like at a higher level. That is just going to continue to increase the odds of the things you're doing to be successful.
Like taking all of the thinking so much out of things, like, oh, it's got to be just perfect. I can't put it out until this or that, whatever.
Perfectionism is a vice, man. It's a vice.
I mean,
add it to the deadly sins. Perfectionism will tank you. It's good to want to strive for excellence. Perfectionism that I'm speaking of is the more extreme state where you are trying to control things down to such a level that you never accomplish anything.
Yeah, you just end up doing nothing.
Yeah.
Because
it's never reaching like this unbeatable standard. You keep raising the bar up on yourself. I feel.
Yeah.
Because you'll be like, well, if I could just get this, then I could do that. Then you get that, and you're like, oh well, I still need this to make it it just keeps going.
Yeah, it never ends.
It never fucking ends. Just doing things. Not saying that you should be mediocre, because you should always like try and improve like whatever you're doing. But by just doing, you're already improving. Because every time you do, you learn. Like, it's like muscle memory.
That's true. Shout out to all the mediocre niggas, because they're important. They're important as well. Because, listen, when I first started making music, I was mediocre. Oh, why?
Your pants are like making me hot. You got all these hot ass flannel pants sitting all right next to me.
My pants are making her hot.
Oh my gosh.
Look.
Tell my sex tape.
Yes, we took y'all way behind the veil with that. When I first started making music, I was mediocre. I was like, looking back on myself now, I'm like, yeah, I was mediocre as hell. Like, I sound like everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Like, every SoundCloud rapper with, like, 1 or 2 songs on their shit, you know, with, like, 4 plays. Just, it sounded terrible. But, you know, it's important because if you're going to be great, you gotta experience what mediocrity is like in order to know, like, okay, I want something better than this. Right. I'm trying to improve myself, you know what I'm saying? How can I do that? How can I, you know, everybody's path for improvement is different, you know.
Because I feel like the issue isn't mediocrity, it's complacency in the mediocrity.
Yeah.
Right. You don't ever dive into any endeavor being the best at it, or even good at it, or even, like, mildly competent at it. If you've never done calligraphy, your very first day in calligraphy class, you're not going to be just an expert calligrapher, like, unless like you have some sort of, like, naturally gifted art. We're not talking about, like, special talents. I'm talking about, like, if you just try something new. If you've never played a violin, you're going to go through a lot of months of a lot of screeching and scratching and you know what I mean? Yeah. And that's not to say that you can never be good at it. If you accept that level and you stay there, that's different. Yeah. But it's recognizing that for the most part, most of the people who are the best at what they do are only the best because they do it every single day.
They do it
every day, like a psycho.
Every day.
Like, look at LeBron James.
Like, no breaks.
You know?
There's not one day that has gone by that he has not done something, like, basketball related. You know?
And if he's not playing it, he's thinking about it. You know? It's like...
Something.
And I'm specifically talking also, like, earlier in your whatever, when you're still honing your skill set. Obviously, at some point, it becomes, like, natural.
It's like a grace period for you to be
It was
terrible.
even like that for me with, like, the advanced type of yoga that I was once capable of. A little out of shape now.
You'll be back soon.
But it's just, I went from 0 to practicing very, very, very consistently to developing a level of discipline. You get through that, like, pain phase of, like, being uncomfortable and not good at it, just like with going to the gym. Mm-hmm. Like, those first couple weeks are, like, not fun. Mentally or physically. Yeah. And then once you get good at it, you enter, like, a flow state, and it becomes, like, almost effortless.
Yeah, once you get out of that, get over that hump, you know,
and
should be
fun. A lot of things that you enter that flow state where you feel effortless, you can lose. And that's the other thing, is complacency in our bestness.
In our bestness.
Yeah, our bestness. Because you could be at the top of your game and then stop practicing as much, stop paying as much attention, and stop being as interested and be distracted and shit, and then realize that 20 people have gotten better than you.
I mean, but we're not even talking about a game, though. We're talking about practice.
No, I'm talking about in your personal game, whatever your thing is, you know? It's like someone who's just like, well, I'm the best yogi. I can do Ashtanga Series 4, you know? And it feels effortless, and it's easy for you just flipping in and out of it. Mm-hmm. And then fast forward a couple months, you don't touch it. And then you try it again. Like, just because it was effortless once doesn't mean it's going to remain that way, because you lost your consistency.
I mean, shit.
You lost your discipline. You lost your willpower.
Look at that video we was watching yesterday, like the Q-Star video. He said he hadn't made a video in like 2 months, and he was thinking he was going to lose like a couple hundred, you know, subscribers, but in 2 months' time, he lost 3.3 thousand subscribers.
Wow.
3.3K.
See, for me, I'm okay with my people going sleeper on social media, because I know that lives happen. So I don't just like say like, oh, this person hasn't posted in a month, let me unfollow them. But I think a lot of people do.
Right.
That's crazy though. Like, just from not posting for that amount of time.
Listen, it's the consistency. The thing is, like,
and he was hella consistent. Shout out Q-Star.
You can be super popular, but I feel like
look at celebrities. Like, look at celebrities who were literally at the top of their game. They, like, take 2 years off and don't put out any songs. They didn't lose their skills. Nothing happened to them. And people act like they fell off. Yeah, it's like, what if they just didn't want to make a song for 2 years?
Yeah, no, people do that a lot. They do that whole, like...
just because she wasn't tap dancing for you.
Just because she wasn't tap dancing.
I'm just kidding. But no, it's true. But look at how you lose your relevant...
Yep, go ahead. Yep.
And
punch in.
Relevant.
The Revenant.
No, your relevance. Is it relevancy?
Relevancy.
Relevance. Yeah. Oh God, that word was fucking me up.
You almost had me tripped
It's late. It's late at night.
It's late.
That word was fucking me up for no reason.
Look. Relevancy. We are going so hard because this is the inaugural.
I feel like we're not going hard though. We're just chilling.
Nah, but I'm saying we chilling hard though.
How does one chill hard?
It's a hard chill.
Explain the logistics of chilling hard.
Chilling hard. When you chilling hard, I mean, a lot of things be happening. A lot of things can happen when you chilling hard. When you chilling hard, you usually want to extend the hard chill. So you're going to do whatever it takes.
Oh, you mean like if your friend come over.
If you talking.
And you have work the next day, but you having fun with your friend, so instead of doing the right thing, you decide to chill hard.
Like, oh, fuck it, we lit.
So you like, you know what, let's open another bottle of wine. Let's talk a little longer.
Yeah.
Chilling hard has consequences.
That's a hard chill.
That is a hard chill.
That's a hard chill. You chilling hard as fuck.
You heard it here first.
Yeah. Man, we setting trends and breaking color barriers.
All right. That's enough.
On that note, bye.